Let's talk a little bit about boundaries. Welcome, my name is Albina, and this is my YouTube channel where I just share my opinions and life insights, things I've learned along the way, and also share my motherhood journey. Today, I wanted to talk about boundaries. This year, if you are wanting to improve your life, if you finally want to go after your dreams or do something that you've always wanted to do, you have to focus on creating boundaries in your life. We all have constant input happening. Videos we watch, people we listen to, people we associate with, all of that is input. And that is what shapes us. It's how we see ourselves. And we have to be conscious about who we allow to speak into our lives and what kind of input we allow into our lives. And it's really important to start with the people around you. Maybe you are afraid to go after something because your family member thinks that you shouldn't. And for some reason, you value that person's opinion more than you value your own opinion. I recently remembered from my childhood, I remember as a little girl, I always looked up to adults and I always thought, oh, adults are such mature people. They know everything, they're so smart, they're always right. And I remember a situation where there was an adult that had a certain situation and she got upset at somebody else. I just remember as a child thinking, wow, that is so immature. I can't believe this adult, I think it was a woman that I knew, I can't believe she got upset over such a little thing. That's just crazy. Because in my mind, I thought adults were these mature human beings. And a lot of them are. But the reality is, most people aren't really fully mature. They grow up, their body grows, but their mind can sometimes stay at a certain level and it doesn't fully mature. We tend to listen to other people when it comes to certain decisions in our lives. And that situation as a child made me realize that even adults make mistakes. And adults, just because they're adults and because they play some kind of role, maybe they're your sister or even your mother or your grandmother, it doesn't mean that they have it all figured out, and they can still make mistakes, and sometimes they actually act really immaturely. So their opinion doesn't really matter, especially when it comes to your own personal life. You shouldn't trust everybody that speaks into your life or tells you what to do. And I know it's easy to say and difficult to do, especially if you are in a codependent relationship or if you don't know how to set boundaries. But it's really important to think about that if you want to be an independent person, if you have dreams, if you have all these goals, but you're afraid because you think someone's not going to approve or because you're relying on an opinion of somebody else, especially if it's another adult. This is how you're going to set boundaries. If you feel like someone is speaking into your life, or someone is negatively speaking into your life, or telling you things that just don't align with what you feel is right for you, you have to speak up for yourself. So whether that is making a phone call or meeting up with the person and saying, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I appreciate your input if they have something to say or if they have an opinion. All you have to say is, I appreciate your input, but I'm going to do it my way this way. And this time. And if you've never done this before, this might just sound crazy and it's super uncomfortable. I remember doing this one time with someone close to me, and it was over the phone, and when I hung up the phone, it was the most uncomfortable feeling I've ever experienced. But here's the next step. You have to sit in that discomfort. When you've created a boundary, and all you have to do is just say what you want. You don't have to fight. You don't have to defend your boundary like, this is what I'm gonna do, or cause some crazy, it doesn't have to be a crazy conversation. It can just be a calm, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, I appreciate what you have to say, or this is how it's gonna be because it's my choice. And you have to simply sit with that discomfort because it will pass. Especially if you've never done it before, the other person might think, who does she think she is? What are you talking about? They might push back against that boundary. And all you have to do is just sit with that discomfort. Distance yourself. If you are not living together with that person, just remember, they can't physically do anything to you. And a lot of what they say to you is psychological. So all you got to do is train yourself to to create those boundaries, to say it nicely but firmly, and then stay with that discomfort for a little while. Eventually, that person or those people will learn that that is the way you want to be treated. They will learn to respect you, and they will see that, okay, she's not taking her boundary back. She's not going back on her word. She's doing what she said she's going to do, and they will back off. It's really important to practice this in your life if you want to be strong and you want to become independent. And I'm speaking from my own experience. I left a very strict, tight-knit community where everything was decided for you. You had to be a certain way. You had to act a certain way. And if you did anything that didn't align with that certain way, there was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of judgment. And I had to distance myself physically, then over the phone if it was people close to me telling me something. I just had to set up those boundaries. And now, after years passed by, it is much easier. It's like people understood who I am and how I want to be treated. And even though it wasn't easy in the beginning, now I'm seeing the fruit of me setting those boundaries. I can make my own choices, I can make my own decisions, and when somebody crosses a line or steps over a boundary or tells me their opinion, I can say, thank you, I will think about it, or thank you, I don't accept that, and I take myself out of certain situations that just don't align. It takes practice making those decisions for yourself and creating those boundaries with other people. And when it comes to not people, but other things, think about all the healthy ways that you can protect your energy and your peace. If you're watching movies that are a little bit depressing or that are violent and you see that it's causing you anxiety or depression afterwards, set a boundary for yourself and don't watch those things. Find something else that can be more fulfilling. Create boundaries with your time. If somebody doesn't respect your time, you schedule a meeting, for example, someone doesn't show up, you don't have to be mean about it, but you can say, hey, we agreed on this time, I can't stay longer, let's reschedule. Create little pockets of time for yourself and create those boundaries. You don't have to do everything for everybody all the time. It's okay to say no. It's okay to take breaks. Create boundaries for yourself when you feel like you can't go anymore. Say you're having a really busy day and need a break. Create that boundary. At this time, I'm done with this and this and this because I need a break. I'm feeling like I'm gonna break right now or crash. I need a break. Make a boundary for yourself. Ask your family member to step in and help. If you have kids, let the kids know, mommy needs a break. Constantly think of ways you can create boundaries in order to protect your peace, focus on what you want to do, and you will see with time, you will have way more energy, you will have way more peace, you will be calmer, and you will have time also to achieve the things that you want to achieve. That's all I wanted to share today. It was on my heart, and I'm practicing all of this too. And I hope that this new year is going to be amazing for you, especially when you start implementing all of these little things into your life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.